The girls this season really want to date every single guy on this show. They are players. Welcome to JoTea, I'm Jodie, and let's talk about Badly in Love episode 5 to 7. I cannot believe how badly these girls are playing the guys, because we have got 3 girls who are literally playing all of the guys. Like, they all have at least 3 options, and they don't even know about it. The guys don't even know about the game that's going on behind their own back, but they've clocked one. They have clocked one of the girls, and the only reason they've clocked her is because none of the guys actually want her, and it's kind of sad. But let's talk about Hikaru, because she is playing the biggest game. Hikaru needs to have all of the options in the school, in the academy, and if she doesn't have them, she gets very annoyed. We spoke in our last video about how Hikaru has literally been telling all of the guys 3 different things. She's told all 3 guys different things, and now that they've got back to the school, they are switching notes. The guys are literally swapping notes and realizing that Hikaru is telling them all different things. But before Hikaru can even find all of her 3 guys to get her lies in order, Ari is already in the canteen, hand in hand, opening up to Marin. They are literally getting like deep after one conversation. I mean, she did grab his hand. She was like, look into my eyes, hold my hand. And I feel like Ari kind of played into it a little bit. He got caught up in the moment because Marin is feeding him, oh, I see the real you. I know who you really are. Part of me almost feels like Marin is in a secret competition with Hikaru, because she always goes for her guys. She always goes for her guys. While Ari and Marin are literally hand in hand, Hikaru walks in and she's like, no, my conversation is more important. What are y'all doing? Why is this happening? You need to come with me. I honestly think that Marin and Hikaru can throw hands in this season. If it doesn't happen before the last episode, I'll kind of be disappointed, because I can see the beef. It's clear to see they do not like each other. Now, this is the first time that we actually see Marin stick up for herself, and she's like, no, my conversation's important too. Ari is not leaving this table, and he'll come and find you later. Hikaru's conclusion in all of this is that she doesn't even know what it feels like to be interested in someone anymore. Her head is completely scrambled. She doesn't know if she can fall in love. I think it's very clear to see she is very overwhelmed. This whole scenario was overwhelming her. She's got 3 guys pouring their hearts out to her, and they all just keep saying, have you got there yet? Have you made a decision yet? What are you doing? Who do you like? Where are you getting at? And she looks like her head is going to explode, so I do feel a little bit bad for her. I do also think she's dealing with it wrongly, because you've got 3 guys, okay? Surely you like one of them at least a little bit more, and you can just be honest about that. She has been honest about how she sees Ari as more of a friend. She likes Tai Chan more, but then this whole Bo thing is in the back. Bo is a friend to Hikaru, but then when she's speaking one-on-one with him, she's not telling him out straight, it's a friendly thing and I cannot be with you. She literally told him, you have better qualities than the other guys. So his head is also thinking he's still in the game. I did really feel for her in these episodes though. I know in the last episodes, I was like, what is this girl doing? This bitch's head is not on her shoulders. She's just playing these guys and she just wants the attention. But now in these episodes, I actually feel bad for her. I feel like she's not really made friends with any of the girls. She's dealing with all of this alone. She's nobody to go to for advice. She's sitting outside crying her eyes out by herself. But then we realize that she's literally on the time of the month. So she's a bad bitch, but not at this moment. In this moment, she's weak, okay? Bad bitches can have weak moments too, and this is her moment. Not only did we see her breaking down, we also seen Ari break down, and I just need to talk about this one for a second, okay? Ari got back to his room. He told Marin in their conversation that he was holding himself together. He wanted to be the strong man. He couldn't shed tears on camera. I get it. I get it. These guys are delinquents. They're big, hard, tough men. They can't cry. I get that. But then when Ari gets back to the room, right, where he knows he's going to be on camera, I'm not shaming the guy for crying. I need to get that very clear. But it was very performative. There was no tears. There was a lot of like... There was a lot of faces, there was a lot of acting, like his face went red because he seemed like he was really, really trying to get that emotional moment across, but it just wasn't happening. Like, it just wasn't happening for him. He put his head down, he was doing the heavy breathing, the sniffling. I don't think he was crying. I don't think he was actually sad. Like, I do think it was for the cameras. This is my problem with Ari. I'm trying to like him and I'm trying to see him as the person that he is, but it all just feels like a facade to me. He doesn't feel like a real person. It's like he's acting this whole time. And then I guess I also know as well that he's a rapper, so I feel like he's just trying to get his career off the ground. But no, the crying scene for me just felt forced, and even if he was crying, I don't know, maybe you cry that way. I just didn't see any tears. There was no tears, there was just facial expressions and his face went red. But what I found very interesting was after this whole parade of feelings being thrown everywhere, Ari doesn't know where he stands, Hikaru can't give them straight answers, he decides he just can't do it anymore, so he's gonna move on, and he starts trying to get to know Marin a little bit. And it's weird to me that Hikaru is getting pissed. She's clearly clearly getting pissed at this. She does not want one of her options moving on. She needs all three of her guys to stay giving her attention. Then Ari got his first sauna date and he decided to take Marin on the date. Now everybody was shocked, but I wasn't. I feel like at first he definitely done it to get back at Hikaru. He wanted her to sit there and feel jealous and be like, oh my god, he took her on a date and not me. Marin also thought that at first, but then when they were in the actual sauna, I was like, wow, okay, hold on a second, because I felt like I could kind of see the real Ari. They both brought out the fun side of each other. They were laughing a lot. We have not seen Marin have fun for 1 second. She has been serious this whole time, except for when she was in the sauna with Ari. But from the sauna date, I actually really liked them together, but then it also had me questioning, is Marin the type of girl who will change her whole personality to suit the guy that she likes in that moment? Because when they got into the sauna date, she had to let him know that she's also what's up, what's up. I don't know what that is. I don't know what this what's up thing is. Like, is that a personality trait in Japan? It almost seems like they're trying to imitate hip-hop culture. They're trying to imitate American black culture. I don't know what they're doing with that, but it's a little bit weird. Ari left that date over the moon. He came into the boys' room and was so happy. I thought like, okay, he's gonna completely forget about Hikaru and go with Marin now. He's just gonna move on and she's finally gonna get her love story and now we can all actually just be happy watching this show. But no, because now it's sauna time for Hikaru and she chose her real choice. She finally made a freaking choice. Just before they had this sauna date, the girls all had this bright idea to make eggs and ketchup. They had this bright idea to make eggs and ketchup for the guys, okay? And you had to do your eggs and ketchup for the guy that you like. And Hikaru chickened out in that moment and she said, I'm gonna do for Bo because me and Bo are friends. Bo didn't take it as that. Bo took it as, this is her being romantic towards me. Regardless, she chose Bo. I thought it was very ironic how Ruru was pushing her to make a choice in that moment, even though Ruru was doing it for two guys. I see you, Miss Cheater girl. I see what you're doing. Now she had to make her real choice for the sauna date and she actually chose Ari. That was honestly the last person I expected her to pick. If anything, I thought I would have been Tai Chan obviously as first, but then I thought she also could have picked Bo. I never expected her to pick Ari. His little game plan that he was doing to make her jealous and get to know other people, it worked. If that was his whole plan, it worked. This is the first time as a viewer, I honestly think that she's looking at Ari as an option. All she's ever been saying is that she sees him as a friend, he's too jokey, he's not serious. Don't forget, she's here looking for a husband, okay? She's looking for marriage and she lets him know this in this sauna date, what she's really here for, her intentions, and he tells her, if you're looking for marriage, you need to pick me because I'm gonna make you happier than Tai Chan will. I'm a better guy than him and I'm gonna do better. Which I was like, okay, I can see he's fighting, he's trying to put on the manly front because Hikaru always talks about how she needs a manly man. So he's trying to do that now. He's trying to make her see him in that light. This date actually made her happy. She is finally happy after how many days of being miserable, crying, being confused by these guys. She's finally feeling happy. I actually think this date may have put Ari as number one for her. Not just the date, but the fact that he also went and got other options. So I think Tai Chan's time is up, which is very interesting because I honestly thought they were going to be a strong couple. But then if we think about it as well, on the other side, her conversations with Tai Chan in these episodes have been more, oh, where's your head at? Have you made a decision yet? Every time he speaks to her, that's all he's asking, and he looks miserable every time he speaks to her. He's like, have you chose me yet? Have you picked me? And she's looking at him like, no bro, no. But we've got another plot twist. Tai Chan is over Hikaru. He has another option and he has already fallen in love. He doesn't just have an option, he has chosen another girl and he is ready to leave. And the girl is Ruru. Now, before we attack Tai Chan, Ruru was his first option. He only moved to Hikaru because he thought that she wrote him the letter. He wrote his first letter to Ruru. She's to blame for this. He didn't even think he had a chance with her. He let that dream go. He was fine. He was like, you know what? I'm a step out. I'm the youngest here. I don't got a chance with her. She came to speak to him one of the nights and actually let him know that she's interested in him and now he's in love. She gave him a hug and he has fallen in love with her. The guys throw that around so easy in this show. Literally one conversation and they're in love. It's just a little bit bizarre. Tai Chan has found himself as the most popular guy and the ego is going to his head. He's in the video room literally telling us every 2 minutes about how he's the younger guy, but he's sneaking up and he's stealing everyone's girl because Hachan and Marin is also making moves on him again. Now he literally has 4 out of 5 girls going after him, which I think is interesting because the other guys don't know that. Leo doesn't know that Ruru is interested in him and the other guys don't know all the conversations that he's getting in that classroom. But never mind the plot twist from Tai Chan, let's talk about the plot twist that is Ruru. What do you mean she's found a third guy to like in here? Give Leo a break. Leo is not catching a break. Leo has fallen in love with Ruru since day one and they have gotten so close. One minute I think she really likes him and then the next minute I'm like, okay, she's found somebody else from Tokyo so she's moving on. She confuses me so much. She literally goes from telling Leo that she likes him to going to telling Tai Chan if I liked him that much, I wouldn't be talking to you. It's mind-boggling. So imagine what it's doing to the guys. She's talking to Leo more about her cheating ways, and she refers to it as a sickness. She feels like it's a sickness that she can never be cured from, but he says he's going to straighten her out. Like, he's like, I don't care about any of that. We're going to straighten you out. You're going to be good. She's never heard that from a guy before. She's never really had a guy want to tame her, somebody that wants to commit and try and make her change for them. But honestly, I think what Ruru needs is somebody to just reassure her that she's not going to be abandoned. If we listen to her life story and the problems that she's having with relationships, she just needs somebody to reassure her enough that she won't feel like they're going to abandon her within a year, and she'd be fine. That's all that she would need. Even the fact that she's saying that she's starting to get scared that she's going to do something to hurt him is a very good sign, because that means she's aware that she can hurt him, and she'll make sure she doesn't do the actions to hurt him. I think personally, if they want to make it work, they can. Their only issue will be distance, and I don't think Leo's going to have an issue with moving. I think what she needs to do is tell him the things that she's telling us, because she's literally on camera crying, telling us how much she likes him, but she can't tell him. She doesn't have the courage to tell him to his face all of these emotional things. Kazukin is still in the mix. She's literally scolding him because he's not being straight up enough for her, and she needs him to be more forward with his emotions, chase her a little bit. The issue for him is he has done what he didn't want to do. He became friends with the guys, and now he can't step on Leo's feet. He doesn't want to disturb Leo's relationship, and he wants to stay out of it. And then of course we have more Marin drama. The guys have drawn a conclusion on her based on how she's acted with the guys, based on how she's talked to them, how she's approached them, which is logical. That is a logical thing for the guys to do. Talk about how the girls are moving and form an opinion based on that. Then the girls, on the other hand, they are not having it. They feel like they have misjudged her. They're badly characterizing her. The only thing I do like from this whole scenario is seeing Ruru and his son's friendship, I guess, with Marin. Like, they're a trio, right? I want to see it blossom more. But if we think about this whole scenario, we have the girls creating more arguments over this one girl again. They already ganged up on Tai Chan on his own, and now they have this whole face-off with every single guy because they've got an opinion on one girl. Why are they going so far out on this? They're ruining their own relationships for this one girl. The fact of the matter is, she literally went and flirted with every single guy except for Kazukin. She has flirted with every guy in this experiment. Is that the name of the game? Yes, it is. Yes, you're supposed to get to know people. You're supposed to find love. I understand that. But is it also not disingenuous to try and move to every single guy in this experiment? Try and get to know all of them romantically. Tell all of them that they're handsome. That's not the name of the game, because then none of the guys will like you. Why would you think that's the way to go? And then she kept saying it's while she works in a bar, that's how she's learned to talk to people, that you give people compliments and that's how you get to know them. But you're not in a bar scenario. And all of the other guys, there's so many people here that have worked in bars and they don't use that as an excuse. If any of the guys sat there, like let's say Kazukin, he owns a bar, he's a host, he's always been a host. If he sits and flirts with every single girl there, y'all would call him trash. You literally did it to Tai Chan. You called him trash because he was speaking to two girls. You've told every guy in here that they're handsome, and that's your excuse, is that you're just trying to get close to them. Are you trying to get close to them romantically or platonically? Because if it's platonically and you just want to be friends with everybody, you don't need to be going, you're so handsome, and getting really touchy-feely and saying flirtatious things. That's not getting to know somebody. That's not getting close to somebody. And she knows that. And I'm a proof to you that she knows that, and this is just an excuse. Saying you're handsome to everybody in your first conversation with them is romantic. That's trying to get to a romantic level with somebody, not to get close to them as friends. So she did try and move to everybody romantically. The only one we haven't seen is Bo, but as the guy said, she's been all over him, hugging him. But then on the other hand as well, the name of the game is to find love. So wouldn't you want to get to know everybody's personalities to see who you can connect with? Yes, but get to know their personalities. Don't just go straight in with, I love your face, I like how you look, you're handsome. That's not gonna get you to know their personalities. First, take a step back, listen to their stories, get to know their personalities, see if you even want to get to that level with them, and then you can do that. We've seen her with Tai Chan. Obviously there was a whole saga with that. Leo was allegedly her number one choice. I personally don't remember her saying that. She did take him to the sauna. Before Ari even took her to the sauna, she was holding his hands. That is very intimate. Then we've got Makun, who was just trying to be a friend to her, asking who's your ideal type, and she said, you look like my ex, you're the closest to my ideal type. Now in her defense, I don't think she was trying to flirt with him in that moment. She literally told us, like in the first episode, that she couldn't go with him. I do think Makun took that up in the wrong way. I think what I don't like the most is that the girls keep disrupting everybody's experience here with these arguments. Like Ruru would not let it go. The guys couldn't even joke around. They were laughing between each other. She storms into their room to eat their head off because how dare you be laughing when Marin's upset. This whole whole world does not revolve around Marin, okay? We know that she has trauma, we know that she has issues, but what she needs to do is go and heal from that. This is not the environment for her, and everybody else shouldn't have to sacrifice their experience because she's got trauma. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's the reality. These people also came here to find love. But to prove my point, okay, Banana Man comes the next morning. After everything is done, Banana Man shows up to deliver bananas, and I mean, it's just perfect timing, right? Because everybody thought that Marin was going to go and live with this old man. She takes him aside for a one-on-one conversation. And you know what she didn't do in that conversation? She didn't tell him he's handsome, she didn't tell him that he has a beautiful face, or she didn't try and flirt with him. And that's my point proven, that if you want to get to know somebody and get close to them, you don't need to flirt with them, you don't need to tell them you're handsome. I thought that's how you talk to people because that's how you learned in the bar. But you didn't talk to him that way. So that shows me that you know how to have a conversation, how to get to know somebody, and how to be platonic. But you're sitting saying you don't know how to change, and it's not fair for people to expect you to change. That's not actually who you are. Just admit that you were flirting with all the guys and call it a day. He told her the exact same thing I was thinking, that she needs to find out how to love herself, go and take time and live for the future. We've seen our power couple actually having a power outage in these episodes. It was basically down to Marin's drama. It literally led to a son saying that she wanted to go home. She was fed up of the drama. We did see them share 2 kisses in these episodes, which is actually against the rules. And I'm a little bit scared because at the end of episode 7, we seen that they're about to have a big conference about breaking rules. And I just hope they don't get expelled, because last season we had people be expelled, and I just hope it doesn't happen this season. But then if I think about it logically, we're also ending where they're about to go into overnight dates, and I think they might be getting a warning. Y'all are going for an overnight date and touching is not allowed. You guys are not allowed to be physical at all. Because we heard the guys in their dorm and they were talking about, oh, you guys kiss, that means she wants the D. That's not allowed to happen. Y'all are on Netflix. I'm so interested to see who goes with who on these overnight dates, because that's almost like where it's set in stone who's gonna get serious, who's the actual couple, who the most popular people choose. And I think what will be really interesting is if Tai Chan wins the date. I feel like they actually need to rig it that he gets first choice and takes Ruru, just because I want to see what happens. I don't actually think Ruru even likes him. I think she just done that off a whim, because when he was like, oh, have I made my intentions clear to you? She was like, oh yeah, about that. Yeah, I remember that. I told you I liked you, right? Well, you're 22 years old and I want to get married in the next 3 years. Can you keep up with that? I think she kind of did that on a whim one night and then almost regretted it, because she did tell Leo that she wants to go on a date with him, so Leo is going to do everything he can to try and get that date. But then so is Kazu-kun. And then Bo also thinks that he needs to win because he wants to take Hikaru on his date, even though she thinks that he thinks they're friends. It's actually just so dramatic. And then we've got the 2 new people. We did finally learn more about their stories in these episodes, and I found it interesting that when they told their stories, they both wanted to apologize to the 2 people that hurt the most in life. For Ha-chan, it was her stepmother, who literally cut her up to the point that she passed out, she bled that much. But then she wanted to apologize to her because as an adult, she can see how good of a job she did taking care of her father. It's down to her stepmother that her father is still alive. Even though her stepmother was so abusive to her and didn't want to care for her as her child, she wanted to apologize to her. For Kazu-kun, we actually found out he spent a lot of time in prison, and for the first time we heard somebody ask, why did they go to prison? And it turns out Kazu-kun was in prison because he lit somebody on fire. So that is crazy. But he also wanted to apologize to someone who was abusive to him. So his father was not a great father from his telling. He was abusive towards him, but he still wanted to apologize to his father. Even as an adult, when his father tried to reach out, Kazu-kun did not want to have a relationship with him. And I think that's respectable. We need to understand that people can hurt you in life, and it's okay for you to not accept their apology. It's even okay for you to accept their apology and say, it's fine. Your apology is accepted, you're forgiven, but that doesn't mean you need to be part of my life now. Kazu-kun felt some sort of guilt because when his father passed away, he didn't understand why he was so upset. His son actually said something that made me tear up when she said it. She was very powerful with her words, and she said it so casually. She told him that regardless, even if he didn't want a relationship with his father, it's okay for him to still be sad when he dies, because regardless, that was his parent. As a child, the love for a parent is unconditional, but not every child receives that love from a parent. And I thought that was so wise of her to say to him, and I feel like he needed that in that moment, to hear that you don't need to carry this guilt with you. But I am so excited for the next few episodes to drop. I cannot wait to see how these overnight episodes go. It's going to be the last block of episodes. We're going to have confessions and everything, so let me know all your thoughts on these few episodes down below in the comments, and we will talk there. Who do you guys think Hikaru is going to end up on these dates with, and who is Ruru going to end up on these dates with? Do not forget to subscribe, because we will be back for the next few episodes, and I will see you guys in my next video.